All right, so this is a question that I get all the time on sales calls, from clients, people emailing me, people messaging me, live streams, et cetera, et cetera. Is YouTube Shorts worth it, right? Is it worth it to do YouTube Shorts? And the short answer, no pun intended, is no. For most people, it is not worth doing YouTube Shorts. Now, there's going to be a few exceptions, and I am going to talk about the exceptions to the rule. And I'm going to talk about people that have made YouTube Shorts work really well. So let's actually start with the winners, right? The people who actually did do really well when it comes to YouTube Shorts. So one that comes to mind is Iman Gadzhi. Iman Gadzhi had like 30 different accounts or some ridiculous amount like that. And he hired an entire team of people, like 70 editors, to cut up his clips. And sometimes he would even make, original clips and cut up his vlogs and cut up podcast clips, et cetera, et cetera. That's another thing. He went on a ton of podcasts and then post YouTube Shorts. Okay. So he had a team of 70 editors, 70. And he was paying all of them like at least $1,500 a month. So he was paying them over $100,000 a month. He was paying over $100,000 a month to editors to edit his videos, right? So he had a massive team of people doing this. And it did work for him, right? He went on a ton of podcasts. He was making a lot of content on YouTube itself. So he was also making content on other platforms as well. And this worked extremely well for him, right? He was able to funnel all that massive amount of views that he was getting from all the shorts accounts to his sort of top of funnel long form content. He was doing a lot of listicles like 5 ways to make money online, or 5 ways to be more efficient with your time, 5 ways to be a top 1% man, or whatever, right? So very top of funnel content. And then he would funnel the people from that top of funnel content, like long form content, to more bottom of funnel long form content. And then he'd funnel them to kind of like a challenge video, like a launch webinar, essentially, right? Another person who made this work, very, very well known, he actually became the #1 most well known, like most searched person in the world, whether you like him or not. I mean, he did make this strategy work, was Andrew Tate, right? So he basically had an affiliate program. I think it was called The Real World, and it was $50 a month. And when you got people into this affiliate program, you would get payment for that, right? And so he had like an army of young people that were making content for him. Like, a lot of them were probably like 13-year-old boys from India or something that were making content for him and absolutely crushing it, right? So he literally became the most searched person in the entire world because of the just massive amount of content that people were putting out. And they were incentivized to do this because of the fact that if they got people to join The Real World, they would get a small amount of money. So, there were some people that were making really good money doing this as well. So those are some examples. And then, of course, he would, funnel those people from The Real World into a higher ticket product. He would also funnel the views. A lot of the people that watched him, like just discovery from the views, would watch his longer form content and all that kind of thing. So those are the winners, right? And there's a few examples here and there of other winners, but really the vast majority of the time when people are making shorts content specifically for YouTube, and when I say shorts content specifically for YouTube, what I mean is people are purposely like putting time and effort into making their own content on YouTube. The vast majority of the time, it is a waste of time. And that same amount of time that it takes to make a short would be much better spent making long form content on YouTube. Why? Because long form content is the reason that people come to YouTube in the first place. Just about every other platform does short form content, right? TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. All these different platforms, you have an option to do short form content. YouTube is the one platform that is exclusively in the social media world for long form content. People come to YouTube to watch long form content. Additionally, on top of that, when it comes to people actually buying things, not just viewers, but buyers, there's this little rule called the 1174 rule by Google. And they came up with this because they discovered that on average, people have to watch about 7 hours of content before they make a buying decision, especially for like a higher ticket product. They typically have to watch 7 hours of your content, either your content or similar content for that product, whatever product that they're buying, right? And so if they're going to buy your product and you're making shorts, I mean, how many shorts are they going to have to watch to get to 7 hours? Like 700? You know what I mean? It's like, holy crap. Like, that's going to be a lot of shorts to get to the 7 hour watch time number, right? Whereas if you're making videos that are 30 minutes and hours, longer videos, they only have to watch a handful of videos before they get to that number, right? And so it is significantly more important and easier to get people to know, like, and trust you when you make long form content versus making shorts. And additionally, so just to establish that, I just want to establish that is incredibly important to understand, right? Like, long form content actually gets people to buy stuff, right? And that's the power of YouTube is people. That's why so many people buy from YouTube is because of long form content, right? Additionally, you might be thinking, well, Shane, yes, I get it. Long form content gets people to buy stuff, but can't I make short form content to funnel people into my long form content? 99% of the time, no. YouTube has been promising this bridge between short form and long form for the longest time. And for 99% of people, if they watch your short form content, most of the time, they're not going to watch your long form content. Because the value proposition of the short form content is totally different than the value proposition of the long form content, right? It's just that simple, okay? So for 99% of people, especially when you're first starting on YouTube, it's not worth it to do short form. Now, who is it worth it for? Once you have an established long form channel that's doing very well, it's already crushing it. This is the first type of person that's worth it for. If you have an established channel, long form, making long form content, it's doing well, it's crushing it, and you want to add a little bit more fuel to the fire and figure out, like, you have a deep understanding of what your value proposition for your long form content is. And you're able to have the exact same value proposition, aka the exact same reason for watching your content in your short form content as you do in your long form content. Very important to have that. Then, in that case, sometimes it might be worth it to make short form content, but only after you've already gotten your long form content taken care of. The second type of person that this might be worth it for, if you are just starting on YouTube and you want to get your first few thousand subscribers, you can get them faster making short form content. Now, this is specifically in order to get what's known as social proof, right? Because someone goes to your channel, they see you only have 20 subscribers. Even if your video is awesome, your thumbnail's awesome, your idea is awesome, everything's awesome, they might not watch your video just because of the fact that you don't have that many subscribers, okay? So just to get your first few thousand subscribers, so that you have just enough social proof to people where people will actually watch your videos when they come to your channel, sometimes doing a little bit of short form, again, keeping in mind, hopefully, that you have the same value proposition with your short form content as you do with your long form content, so that those people that subscribe to you from short form will actually have a reason to watch your long form content. Keeping that in mind, it can be worth it. But again, you shouldn't be spending a significant amount of your time making the short form content, right? It shouldn't be taking up a lot of your time. If anything, maybe you just clip parts of your long form content or rather have somebody else do it and then upload it to shorts, right? And then the third type of person is someone who wants to go for a mass market strategy. We're talking, again, the Iman Gadzis, the Andrew Tates of the world. They're going for a mass market strategy where they are truly trying to just take over the entire market. Which, by the way, pro tip there, WAP just released a feature, which I think is pretty cool, where you can actually pay people to clip you, and you can pay them per view, which I think is pretty sick. So you can basically have what like kind of similar to what Iman Gadzi had without having to actually hire a team of 70 editors, which is pretty cool. So that is another strategy. Of course, that's only going to be good for like 0.001% of people. Okay, now, if this changes in the future, I will keep you updated. What I've heard overwhelmingly from people who actually do this. By the way, people who actually make money, not people who pretend like they make money or they talk about making money, right? People who actually make money. The vast majority of the time, short form content has been a massive waste of time. It doesn't result in any actual money, especially on YouTube. I mean, think about it. On Instagram, short form content makes a lot more sense because you can actually contact people who engage with your content. You can message them, you can comment, you can have them comment, etc. On YouTube, you can't do that, right? You got to get them off the platform. And so short form content doesn't work nearly as well on YouTube, right? And so for the vast majority of people, short form is a waste of time on YouTube, okay? And I know this isn't what you want to hear. I mean, a lot of people don't want to hear this. It's kind of like this, like, oh, it's a shortcut. It's like, oh, it's easy. It's easier to make, so I want to do that, you know? A lot of people don't want to hear this, but it's just the truth. Right? So if you want to hear the truth, that's what the truth is. Short form is a waste of time for like 99% of people. For those three exceptions, it can sometimes be worth it. But even in that case, it probably would have been better to just spend that time just making more long form content, honestly. So I guess a fourth person would be someone who makes long form content and they can just afford to hire other people to clip their long form content and make it into shorts, right? So that would be a fourth person that is worth it for. But again, not making short form content directly, right? Like targeting the short form content, because most of the time it's not going to have the same value proposition and it's just going to be a waste of your time. I know channels that have like 500,000, a million subscribers, and they got all the subscribers from shorts and they are dead broke. Okay, dead broke. Now you would think that they're, crushing it. They are dead broke, man. Dead broke. They're not making any money at all. Okay. Yeah, and some of them pretend like they're making money, and it's just pretty lame. But yeah, that's basically my message for the day. Mr. Beast recently came out with a tool. It's called View Stats, and I thought this tool was really great because it'll tell you how many views on any given channel. You can see the long form views and the short form views. And I'm telling you right now, if a channel is mostly getting short form views, they are not making money, right? Now, if you are doing a mass market play, like I said, in kind of the number 3 scenario where you're just kind of trying to go for exposure, go ahead. Short form can be great. But if you're actually trying to make money, if you're actually trying to make impact, long form is the way to go every single time. And YouTube was literally designed for long form. People come to YouTube for long form. So why would you try to make them do something else, right? It just doesn't make any sense, okay? Now, if you want a strategy on how to actually find the right videos, we actually have a GPT that we've made that'll help you find the best videos, which we'll put down in the description and the pinned comment below. It'll really simplify the process. Definitely check that out. And if you are somebody, a coach, consultant, online service provider, or you're a YouTuber who wants to basically figure out how to actually monetize your channel, how to actually make money from your channel, because that's one of the most common people that come to us is people who are trying to actually make money from YouTube, right? Then go ahead, book a call down in the description and the pinned comment below, and we'll help you with your monetization strategy. We've helped a ton of people do this. Just as an example, Sean went from 30K per month to over 600K per month. He was actually stuck around 10 to 30K per month for several years, and he went from 30K per month to over 600K per month within about a 9-month period. And you can check that video out by clicking right here.